All right, here we go. Here we go. Copy link, close. Finally, finally, my hair is okay. Could be worse. All right, I just want to make sure everything is okay here. So, link to my own live stream seems all right. Seems all right. I just had to change my shirt, make sure my camera's in a good spot. And I'm finally ready to do this live stream that I've been trying to do for about a day and a half now. And I don't need to hear my own voice anymore. I can X out of my own stream tab there. Okay, so finally, I mean, I tried to do this Saturday night. I tried to do this Saturday night, and I had audio issues. In fact, I literally have my sound settings up on my computer right now just in case something goes wrong. So, yeah. Anyways, I've got some things to talk about. My door is locked. There should be no distractions. I've downloaded this new thing called, what's it called? NVIDIA RTX Voice, which should filter out uh, microphone background noise. It should filter out just noise from my noisemaker, which is on right now. And it should just filter out anything that's not my voice. Like, I'm going to bang on my desk right now. It doesn't come through. At least I hope not. I don't have my own stream up anymore. But yeah, I can bang on my chair. It shouldn't come through. It should not come through. Anyways. Oh my goodness. It took me so long, like way too long. It was such a frustrating time yesterday of trying to get my microphone input where I wanted it to be. Like, I wanted to be able to live stream and talk about things um, without hearing all this background white noise for no reason coming from my microphone. And basically, any little tap I did, any little movement I did, my microphone would pick up because it's not a great quality microphone. It's really not. And I understand that. But still, there should be no reason that it's doing all of this stuff. Like, it took me basically almost all day yesterday dealing with this, and I wanted to stream first thing in the morning yesterday, but it just wasn't meant to be. And again, last night, yesterday evening, when I got home, I tried again. I wanted to uh, live stream again. I wanted to attempt again at live streaming, but it just wasn't meant to be. I just could not. I mean, that last night was when I downloaded the software and I tried to get things ready, but then I ran into more problems this morning. But yeah, I think everything, it's not perfect, but I think my microphone quality is okay, or at least much better than it was. Obviously, I'm not a streamer, so I'm only, okay, first I want to get this out of the way, okay? I'm not doing this for people, okay? This is my outlet. Like, this is an outlet of mine. Sometimes I just have a lot of things on my mind, a lot of things I want to talk about, but I don't have anyone close to me to talk about it with. And anybody that I've, you know, um, tried to talk about things with, like, if I think there's someone close enough to me where I can like talk about things with, like really personal stuff with, um, it's just like they don't really care that much, you know? Like, I've got like friends, I say, like semi, like they're more like acquaintances. I mean, I don't really give out the title of friend to just anyone anymore. But yeah, there are people I know that that are like I'd say more than just acquaintances, but like it's still hard to call them friends usually. But still, it's just mostly everyone I know doesn't really care that much about, um, personal stuff and personal topics that I'd like to talk about. So I use YouTube sometimes just to talk about things that are on my mind and to talk about, just personal stuff that no one really wants to talk about. Um, so yeah, I use this as an outlet. I use this to just try and get better at public speaking, just try and be more, um, it's like an attempt to be more outgoing, basically. And I just, like, is my hair okay? I think my hair is okay. Yeah. If I ever, not gonna say if, like later on in life, I do want to like make more consistent YouTube videos. I have like a bunch of ideas lined up for like video stuff I'm gonna do in the future. Uh, Videos I can like, do a lot of editing with, something like that. Like I can make being a YouTuber. I actually want to make being a YouTuber more of like a top hobby of mine, like later on down the road. Um, but when that time comes is when I will invest in like a much better quality microphone, much better quality webcam, much better quality. Well, that's just about it. I mean, I already have a great editing software. I mean, YouTube is YouTube, you know. But yeah, microphone, webcam, those things are just like, um, I don't have the best quality of those things, but I will later on when YouTube is like more of a hobby of mine. Right now, I just use YouTube once in a while to talk about whatever I want to talk about. I just use it for whatever the heck I want, basically. Yeah. I mean, if there's anyone out there that has a problem with um, what I do on YouTube, uh, cry about it, I guess. Cry about it. Like, this is what I do for fun. This is what I do as an outlet. This is just me talking to myself, but also not really, if that makes sense. I'm just, you know, that's what I do. Once in a while, just talk to the camera for minutes and minutes and sometimes hours. Just because I got stuff that is on my chest and I want to get off my chest, and I don't have anyone close to me to have to talk about things with for hours and hours on end. I haven't had anybody like that in my life in years. So yeah. With that being said, it's already been 8 minutes, and I think this is actually going pretty well. I need to sit in a better position, like fix my posture a bit. Um, I've been going to the chiropractor every week, pretty much, and it's been helping my back and my posture a bit, I'd say. Um, so yeah, I wrote down some talking points that I wanted to talk about today. But first, let me check something real quick. Is everything here good? I believe so. All right, so yeah. Trying to decide which direction I want to go, like subject-wise. Do I want to talk about this thing, or do I want to talk about this thing, or do I just want to stick to the list? Um, First of all, I've been doing this challenge, okay? This challenge is called the Driven 30. It's called the Driven 30 Challenge. Now, it was put on by a YouTuber by the name of Leon Hendricks. Yes, Leon Hendricks is hosting this challenge called the Driven 30, and I am a participant in this challenge. So it's during the whole month of February. The whole month of February starts 30 days of this Driven 30 challenge. Now, what this is a self-discipline, self-improvement, um, good habits building type of challenge. Now, in this challenge, there are six habits that you got to do every single day for 30 days. And if you don't do these things, if you don't do one of any of these things, then you failed the challenge. You have to restart. So the first one is exercise. So every single day this month for 19 days now. Today's day 20, by the way. Today's day 20 of the Driven 30 challenge. And the first thing on the list is exercise, at least 30 minutes of exercise every day. And I have been doing that. I've got my own little list of things I do every day, exercise-wise, but I also sometimes just go for a jog or run in my neighborhood, as well as go to the pool. Now, I work at Ocean Lakes Family Campground. So they have a pool there, an indoor pool that is always open. So every other day I've been going there to swim laps, just swim laps, train my body to get ready for lifeguard season. Because come March, we're going to be doing lifeguard training again, because I was a lifeguard last year at Ocean Lakes. And it was pretty great for a second job. I mean, the pay was great. It was a really great experience, and I really look forward to doing that again this year. Lifeguard training starts in a couple weeks, so I want to when we swim laps during lifeguard training, I want to not come in last this year, because last year I came in last. And it was a little embarrassing, but not really. I was too tired to really care that much about how embarrassing it was. You just have to finish. So it was 10 laps, and one lap is all the way to the end of the pool and then all the way back without stopping. That's one lap, and then you can't stop, and you got to go through the whole 10 laps all in one go. So and it didn't matter how long it takes to do this, as long as you finish, like without stopping completely. So I've been training. We're gonna be doing that again in March, and I am going to be a return lifeguard since I worked last year. But this year I want to be really well prepared for this. I want to be going to the pool every other day and just training, getting used to the proper ways of swimming. I'm probably going to get myself some goggles here in a couple days or so. And yeah, I've just been swimming laps every other day, just trying to condition my body and just build my endurance up and get ready for lifeguard training, so I can be as impressive as I can come that day. So yeah, it's having this pool to swim in has been pretty convenient. I was very frustrated yesterday with this whole microphone situation, and it's I'm thankful that finally I got somewhere with it. I'm finally able to do this. But yesterday I was just very frustrated with it, and I just decided to just go to the pool, try to swim some more laps. There was a lot of people in the pool, so I couldn't really do exactly what I wanted to do, but I was still able to get some things accomplished. So that's a plus for sure. But yeah, exercise, that's the first thing on the Driven 30. I kind of went off on a tangent there, but that's what happens when I talk to myself like I do here. So yeah, at least 30 minutes of exercise every day in this Driven 30 challenge. It doesn't matter what kind of exercise it is, as long as it's exercise. Getting the blood flowing, all that type of stuff. And then the second thing on the list is mindfulness. Which is just it can be anything that brings you back to the present moment. It can be meditation, sitting with yourself for at least 15 minutes a day, just, you know, taking time out of your day to think or process your emotions or just meditate, whatever it is, just, yeah, mindfulness. Probably a bad way of explaining it, but yeah, Leon explained it better. Anyways, journaling, that's another thing on my list, is journaling. This is my journal here. Now, yeah, this is a little red journal I've had on my, it looks like this on the outside. I've had this journal on my desk for about a year, over a year, and I haven't had any great reason to use it until now. So every day, one of the tasks for the Driven 30 is at least 10 minutes of journaling. It can be a physical journal like the one I've got here, or it can be a digital journal. I've chosen a physical journal because I like to, get my hand more used to writing things down physically with a pen and paper. I don't think I've done that enough in my life. So I decided to use this physical journal. Plus, I have one already right in front of me, very handy. So I thought, why not? So yeah, every day I've been taking at least 10 minutes to write a journal entry for each day. I just wrote day 19 last night. I'm going to be writing an entry probably right after the stream for day 20, which is today, February 20th. So yeah, and then another thing is diet. That's the fourth thing is diet. Just got to just eating better. Like I have, for the whole month of February, I have cut out all junk food. Like I'm not eating anything that is suspicious, like no chips, no candy, no sugary desserts, nothing like that. I'm eating nothing like that. I'm not even putting sugar in my coffee. I'm using stevia instead, which is a much better type of sweetener. So yeah, I've cut out all junk food completely. I'm only eating things that are good, basically. So yeah, I've been very well disciplined with this. I haven't been tempted at all. Like sometimes my dad will bring in donuts, or um, my, my family will eat ice cream right in front of me, and it doesn't faze me at all. Like I'm very committed to not eating junk food at all in the month of February. Like when I go to work, my supervisor often brings cookies to work, and yeah, it's very easy to say no. Like I haven't found it difficult at all to stick to this no junk food formula. So yeah, the vending machine where I work has nothing but junk food except for one thing, and that is salted peanuts. So I found myself when I get hungry at work, I found myself going get some salted peanuts. But literally, that's the only thing in the whole vending machine that isn't junk food and that I'm allowed to eat. But yeah, they're very good. They're very good for sure. Another thing is screen time. That's the fifth thing for the Driven 30 is screen time. Only allowed up to 2 hours of screen time on your phone per day. So every night before I go to bed, I screenshot. I take a screenshot on my phone of how much screen time I've spent that day, and it has to be under 2 hours. So that's the goal: under 2 hours, no screen time on the phone each day. So I've been very consistent with that. The closest I ever got to 2 hours was an hour 57. So yeah, less than 2 hours of screen time on your phone each day. Because let's be honest, everyone on Earth at this point, okay, not everyone, but the vast majority of everyone on Earth at this point spends way too much time on their phone. Like, and what's even worse is when you're on your phone when someone's talking to you. Don't do that. Like, I've even had people do that to me, like be on their phone while I'm talking to them, and it's like, it feels like such a slap in the face. Don't ever be on your phone when talking to somebody, even if it's just like a casual conversation. Like, yeah. Even I've been guilty of this a few times. Yeah. And then accountability. That's the final thing for the Driven 30 habits every day. Accountability is you need to like, so there's two ways to do accountability. One is you have to have a partner. So if you have a partner that you're doing the Driven 30 with, because that's the first way of doing accountability is have a partner that you're doing the challenge with, like you're both doing the challenge, and every day before you go to bed, check in with each other. Tell each other about what you did that day in regards to the Driven 30. You can show screenshots of proof for your screen time, that kind of thing, and just it's just to show like that you're doing it. Progress towards completing the challenge. But if you don't have a Driven 30 partner, like me, I don't have a Driven 30 partner. What you can do instead is just post on your social media story every day, which is what I've been doing. Every day I post a picture of my Driven 30 habit tracker chart to show my progress. I've taken a picture of it and I post it on my social media story before I go to bed every single night this entire month. So yeah, I've been using Instagram and Facebook for that. That's literally all I've been doing on social media, actually, and I'm going to get into that. But yeah, those are the 6 things for the Driven 30, the 6 habits to complete each day for the Driven 30. Whew, I should have brought some water in here. My mouth's pretty dry. Yeah, what was I talking about? Oh, right. Yeah, the social media thing. So that's literally all I've been using social media for is posting on my Instagram story and Facebook story, which you can do in one button, which is pretty cool. So every night before I go to bed, that's literally all I've been. The only time I even go on social media is just to post on my Instagram/Facebook story for the accountability section, for the accountability portion of the Driven 30. So yeah. Other than that, I have been completely off of social media for, I mean, it's not required to be completely off social media during the Driven 30 as long as you have under 2 hours of screen time, like I mentioned. But I'm doing something a little bit different. I got a little bit of a twist for myself for the Driven 30. Where's my phone? I actually don't know where my phone is. But yeah, I was gonna read my little list I have. I don't know where my phone is. Let me go check behind my bed. I might have not even unplugged it this morning because that's one of the things. I'll get to that. Okay. All right, I found my phone. Obviously, you could tell. So yeah, I'm getting like Facebook messages. Yeah, I'm not really responding to really like Facebook messages. The only main social media I use is Discord. That's like my main social media. I barely use anything else. When I say barely, it means I have an account. I just don't really use it, like hardly ever, unless someone like messages me on it. So that kind of thing. So yeah, it's telling me to. Let me take a quick picture here. All right, I think that's a good picture. Yeah, my phone. Yeah, I was just taking a picture for reasons. Anyways, now that that's out of the way, let me think about something. Let me think about this real quick. Oh yeah, what was I doing? Why did I get my phone in the first place? Ah, yeah, I remember. Okay, so the little thing I was doing about my little twist to the Driven 30 is a little add-on, to make it more my style, I guess you could say. Is let's see, I'm gonna have to scroll to the top. Okay. Here's what I'm doing with the Driven 30. I'm doing all the standard stuff, the 6 habits per day, all that kind of stuff. But with a few minor tweaks, I'm waking up at 8 a.m. every day, except on work days. And I'm going to bed at strictly 11 p.m. every night. Um, but yeah, it hasn't been exactly at 11 p.m. every night. I mean, but it's usually been between 11 and 12. I just want to make sure that I'm asleep by 12 so I can sleep 8 hours and be up by 8 a.m. So I'm trying to make my sleep schedule a lot more consistent with by implementing this. So yeah, I don't use my phone in the first or the last hour of every day, and I'm also taking this. I'm also drinking this thing called AG1 every day. Now I want to show you. I want to show you this right here. So this is vitamin D plus D3 plus K2. Athletic Greens. AG stands for Athletic Greens. So yeah, I've heard a lot of very good things about Athletic Greens. Um, so I decided, why not? It's like a superfood in a drink. So I decided, I've got money, so I'm gonna try it out. So that's what I did. So when my AG1 package got here, I've now been starting off every day with one serving of Athletic Greens. So I've been taking my cup, filling it with water or orange juice, whichever I prefer. Sometimes apple juice, and then adding a scoop of the AG1 powder, and then shaking it up, and it's really good. Like, it's full of vitamins and nutrients. And yeah, I'm trying it out. This is my first month trying it out. I've been starting off every day with that before I even eat anything, literally within a couple minutes after waking up. So yeah, that's what I've been doing first thing in the morning. So yeah, starting off every day with a serving of AG1. I am minimizing video games and desktop media consumption by making the majority of the content I watch something that benefits me in some way. So yeah, if I'm on like YouTube, for example, if I'm gonna watch YouTube videos on the desktop, it has to be something that benefits me. It has to be like something that helps me in some way. I can't just be like, I don't want to just be mindlessly consuming content that doesn't serve me. That's what I'm doing. Um, Video games. I haven't played video games at all the whole month. Like, there's been none of that. I said I'm minimizing video games, but actually I haven't even played a single video game the whole month, unless you count arcade games, because I work at an arcade, and yeah, sometimes I'll like swipe my staff card when there's nothing else to do and just um, shoot some hoops on a basketball game or something. Yeah, that's literally like that's the closest thing I've done to playing video games this whole month of February. Um, so yeah, on day 12, I'm taking things up a notch by implementing a full week of a detox, which will take place all the way through day 18. Now I want to talk about that for a minute. I have 15 New Year's resolutions this year. In fact, I have 15 New Year's resolutions every year. Starting from 2020, I made 15 New Year's resolutions, and then again in 2021, again in 2022, and then again this year in 2023. So one of my resolutions was to do a full week of detox. Now I want to talk about that for a minute. Detox meaning like cutting out all things that are excessive, unnecessary, like distractions, sugar, social media, all of those things. I wanted to completely cut out of my life for a full week, to just like get my mind off those things, detox myself. So that's been one of my plans slash goals for this year is detox, to do a detox. I mean, at first, when I first made this goal, I wasn't really sure what kind of detox I was going to do, but I wanted to just do a social media, but really I'm just doing a social media detox with like combined with like sugar. I'm not eating anything sweet, anything like that. Um, you know, just getting away from all distractions, getting away from things that are not serving me in the long run for now. And technically, I started doing this detox on day 12, which was February 12th. That was day 12 of the Driven 30 challenge when I completely cut myself off of social media. And it was supposed to end on day 18. So that was 2 days ago. That was 2 days ago. Day 18 was the last day of the detox, and that was supposed to end yesterday, really. Yeah. Yesterday was day 19, and it was supposed to end. But the thing is, I wanted to do a live stream before ending my detox, like my complete detox. I wanted to do a live stream, but then I had all this microphone trouble, and it's like, yeah, I just decided to extend it another day. So I did a full week of detox, which I'm very proud of myself for that. But it actually ended up being an 8-day detox, because today would be now 8 days since my detox started. So yeah, I haven't been on social media at all in the last 8 days. I've completely logged out of Discord. I've gone, obviously I haven't been, eating anything sugary. I wanted to talk about sugar for a second, though. Like, a lot of people find it very difficult to stop eating sugar, stop eating sugary, sweet things, desserts, that kind of stuff. Like, people find it very hard to go off to stop eating those things for a while. But for me, it was very easy. Like, I'm just going to give you an example real quick. Um, it was basically like every night after dinner or so, I would like crave something sweet, right? I would have like these mocha moon pies in my bedroom. And I would eat sweet things way too much, to the point where I would literally burn myself out on them. Where, like, for a long time coming, I was kind of not impressed with most sweet things, like desserts, just sugary things. I was not impressed at all by most sweet things. You know why? Because I'd been I'd been eating them so often. It was like, I was so used to eating them that, like, it was boring. I think that's the right word. It was kind of boring for me. So I feel like this whole detox thing is going to be even better, because when I do eat something sweet again, it will be a lot more enjoyable, if um, if you know what I mean. Like, the next time I eat something sweet, it'll be a lot more enjoyable. It'll be like, since I haven't eaten anything sweet in so long, it's like, yeah, I just wonder how long it will take for me to miss it. Like, it's been so easy for me to eat healthy in the last month. I haven't even missed sugary sweet things. Like I said, when there's like sugary sweet things around me, donuts, ice cream, junk food, all that kind of stuff, usually it would tempt me, but not this time, because I guess I've just been burned out on junk food for months now, that, like, it's like a breath of fresh air to eat nothing but healthy stuff. Um, So yeah, it's like by taking this break from junk food, it's like completely detoxing my mind from even having the thought of eating junk food. I don't even have cravings at night anymore. I don't even have any of that. Sonic452 says, I've tried to cut back on sugary food too. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's great. I mean, cutting back is great, but also like I'm talking about like full detox, no junk food for the whole month. And I just think that'd be very difficult for some people. For some people, it might be impossible. Like it might be impossible for some people. But I'm not some people. But we're not some people. Yeah, that like I said, I think it just completely goes back to being so burned out on junk food. You just need to stop eating it, or else you're just going to get sick of it. I was borderline sick of junk food. It was around so much. I was sick of it. Um, so yeah, that's probably been the easiest part of the detox. Is just cutting out sugary food. Like it's been no problem for me, no problem at all. And it's gonna make sugary food. It's gonna make sweet things so much better after the detox, because then I won't have to. I won't be like craving it like crazy or anything like that. Um, it's things like that are so much better in moderation. So yeah, don't do what I did and just like burn yourself out on such things. So it's not good. Um, so yeah, detox off social media for the whole week. I've gotten, to be honest, the month of February has been sort of my most productive month I've had in a very long time. In fact, the very first day of February, I got that. I got uh, that beautiful guitar sitting in the background right there. Now, I want to talk about this life goal I have real quick. Uh, Back in 2019, I think I was still eight. I was 18 at the time. Yeah, I was still 18 at the time. Back in 2019, I made a list of 25 life goals, and now one of these life goals, I think it was number 2 or number 3 on the list, is I wanted to learn to play the guitar. I wrote that as my life goal. I wrote that as one of my life goals, to learn to play the guitar. I've never played a musical instrument before a day in my life. That's another thing. Never once in my life touched a musical instrument before. I always kind of felt like I was missing out on it. But then once I started working at the arcade, I met Caleb. Um, so he's actually the younger brother of someone I used to work with as a lifeguard. But yeah, Caleb also works at the arcade. Um, he showed me his guitar collection, and I told him about how I had this life goal about learning to play the guitar one day, and he told me where I could get one. He told me about this place called Andy Owings Music Store, and he showed it to me where it was at on Google Maps. So I was like, you know what? It's a very pivotal point in my life right now. Like I'm trying to do more stuff, try new things, experience more life stuff. Like why should I think about my life goals as something far in the distant future? Like all these life goals I have are long term, of course. So I know that many of them, in fact, probably most of them, are not going to be accomplished in the next 5 years. But this one, I just kind of had a thought about it. Like, why not? Like, why not learn to play the guitar sooner rather than later? Caleb was the one who kind of got me interested in the idea to just go ahead and introduce a new hobby into my life. as early as this year. So it took a lot of thinking about, but I decided to I just decided, I mean, it took a couple of months, honestly, before I actually decided to go and get my first guitar. But I just decided, you know what, screw it. I'm going to go get my first guitar and I'm going to learn how to play, even if it takes me all year long to, just learn the basics. I want to play the guitar, and I've had this on my life goals for a long time. Um, I've been needing to add a new hobby for a long time. I've been wanting a new hobby for a long time. So I picked a day, February 1st. February 1st was the first day of the Driven 30. Literally, I started off the first day of the Driven 30 with a bang. And I rode my bike. Yes, I took my bike all the way to the mall. My voice is dying. I need water. I might go get some water in a minute. Yeah. Anyways, the bike that I ride to work, I took the bike all the way to the mall, to this place called Andy Owings Music Store. Caleb actually met me there because he wanted to go as well. He wanted to be there when I buy my first guitar. And I picked out this one. I'm going to bring it over here. Now, obviously, it's not going to be able to be heard on the live stream, but it is beautiful. And the color theme is called Sunburst. And it is, it's got the word Epiphone on the top. These are the tuners. I'm still learning all the basic guitar stuff, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be able to come through. 40 minutes now I've been streaming. That's pretty cool. Time flies by when you're streaming. That's the thing. Like, there's always too much to talk about. Like, I don't think the guitar is going to be audible on the stream because I have this microphone. It's called the NVIDIA RTX Voice. It cuts out all background noise that's not your voice. If I didn't have this RTX voice thing, you'd be able to hear any little tap, any little movement, any little thud. My noisemaker would be annoying, like so annoying. Just the background noise of the microphone would play a lot of white noise in the background. Like, my last live stream was full of annoying background noise that I have no idea where it came from. But yeah, I don't think the guitar is going to be able to be heard on the live stream for that reason, but still, it is very pretty. And I keep it right over here next to my dresser. Right there in plain sight. Nice guitar, says Sonic452. Thank you. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. I looked at a lot of guitars when I went to the music store with Caleb. I looked at a lot of guitars. There was a lot of very beautiful guitars in that room. I tried a few of them out, and I settled for that one. I spent $478 on that guitar. Oh, he says you can hear the guitar? Wow. Interesting. Wait, I actually want to try something. I'm going to link myself to my own stream. I want to see if it's canceling out the background background noise. So what happens if I bang on my chair? Oh, no. Oh, God, I don't want to mess with anything. So now I have a choice to make. If I change something with my microphone here, because you're not supposed to be able to hear. You're not supposed to be able to hear any background noise. If I change my microphone, um, okay. I'm afraid this is going to mess something up. Ready? Okay. No. Yeah, it's not supposed to pick up banging on my chair. Something's wrong with my microphone setting. Okay, how's it now? It's not working. Let's check this real quick. That's fine. That looks fine. That looks fine. Uh, okay. I don't want to spend too long on this. Yeah, it's not supposed to. Wait. I can't hear any background music. The only sounds I heard were the guitar, and I heard you slapping the desk, whatever it was. I didn't hear any other small noises. Yeah, it's not supposed to pick up anything outside of my voice. That's what the software does. That's why it's a bit. I'm a little bit frustrated that it's not working. Set as default communication device. Yeah, you're not supposed to be able to hear banging on the chair. You're not supposed to hear anything but my voice. In fact, you shouldn't have even been able to hear the guitar. Um, sound control panel. I'm afraid to click um, set as default device for the NVIDIA RTX voice microphone because I feel like it's going to mute me. Because last time I did that, it muted me for the stream, and I couldn't unmute myself for the stream unless I restarted the whole stream. I don't want to risk that. Maybe it isn't properly connected. I've checked everything. I don't want to end the live stream. Set as default communication device. I'm so worried about clicking that. I clicked it. Did I mute myself? I don't think so. I'm okay. Okay. And what did that do? I'm like really, really worried I'm gonna screw something up right now. Okay, that was audible. That could be heard. Yeah, but it's not supposed to be. Oh shoot. Nope. How about now? That's the same thing I had the first time, but I guess. Wait. Why can't I hear that? Okay, I could hear it. Okay, what did that do? Nothing. Yeah, it's not really. The NVIDIA RTX voice isn't working. Oh well. I guess it's not a big deal. It's not a very big deal. I don't want to waste too much time more on this. All right. Okay, so yeah, we're good there. Well, the audio is not where I want it to be, but you know what? It's whatever. I'm not some professional. But yeah, apparently the guitar can be heard. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. All right. I do not know how to play. I do not know how to play a guitar yet. But yeah, I'm going to learn. Yeah, So there's this app called Musician. It is spelled Y-O-U and then musician. It's called Musician. It's for learning how to play. And yeah, Caleb recommended me that app, and I got it, and I'm liking it so far. So yeah. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so the whole detox thing, yeah, it's helped me get my mind in a different place. It's helped me just, cut out certain toxic things. I'm not seeing like toxic social media stuff and yeah, it's the Driven 30 has really helped me get myself in a more productive mindset where I'm like working towards my goals more than I was before. Like for example, first day of the Driven 30, I started off by getting my first guitar, which is one of my goals for this year. So that was accomplished. And plus, I wasn't really feeling like I was all that great. I wasn't really, especially when I'm like on I wasn't really treating people the way I wanted to be treating people. And I just really needed a detox, basically. Um, I wasn't liking who I was when I'm like on social media and stuff, and um, there's like all these other things that I need to get done, and I just wasn't being that productive because I wasn't in that productive mindset. Basically, I'm trying to make February the most productive month in my whole life. Okay, maybe that's a bit too extreme, but one of the most productive months in my whole life. Trying to train every other day, consistent every other day, trying to train for this lifeguard thing, as well as, starting off with the basics, learning to play the guitar. And another thing, my family doesn't even know I have a guitar. Yeah, I actually, when I got it at the music store, um, I also bought a, uh, a guitar backpack, like a guitar pack. I don't remember what it's called. A guitar pack for the guitar. So I put it in that, I put it on my back, I put my backpack in front of me, and then rode home on my bike. And it was very awkward. It was very awkward holding a backpack in front of me while with the guitar on my back. And it was a very long ride home. I had to ride on like public highways and stuff. So yeah, if I had been hit by a car at any point, that would have been very bad for the guitar, but also me, but also for the guitar. So yeah, good thing that did not happen. Um, Social media should be called anti-social media. I often take breaks from phones/computers too. Going on them too much has had bad effects on people. I mean, I actually kind of disagree with that in a way. Like, the thing is, I wasn't getting away from it because of that. I was getting away from it just because I wanted to get other things. I wanted to get other things done. But the thing is, social media is a very good thing. Social media, um, Discord, Instagram, Facebook, all those things are great things, but it's like social media is a great tool, but a terrible master. And the thing is, I'm not coming at this saying like, oh, I was being controlled by social media. No, I just wanted to see what it would be like if I just detoxed myself from not only social media for a whole week, but also other things like the sugar thing and the distractions thing. Like I wasn't using any form of media unless it was to help me or to teach me something. Like for example, watching YouTube about like beginner guitar tips or like how to play the guitar for beginners and stuff like that. And like how to fix microphone issues and um, just how to do certain things. Um, yeah, like, oh, and also posting posting my Driven 30 accountability thing on my Instagram story every night for the accountability portion. But yeah, the whole detox thing has definitely helped me with the whole distraction thing. Like when it comes to distractions, it's easy to like, for example, if it's day 13 of the Driven 30 and I need to exercise for 30 minutes that day, but I have like uh, other stuff I kind of want to do that I get sucked into on social media, that I'm just like, I'm gonna procrastinate I'm gonna procrastinate exercise. I'm gonna like, it's gonna take me like all day until maybe the evening, to do exercise. Um, but in this case, when there's less distractions, less going on in my life, for some people, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of time where you're just bored because, during a detox, there's no social media, there's no consuming mindless media, uh, there's no binging on sugary things, junk food, that kind of stuff. But so yeah, there'd be a lot of time where you're just bored, and that's okay. Like if you're bored during a certain challenge like this, that's completely okay. Then be bored. That's literally something that the guy putting on the challenge talked about. Like if you find yourself bored some days, which you probably will, then that's okay. Just be bored. Just sit with yourself and be bored. Um, but for me, I used to complain a lot about being bored. Like I was that guy who, okay, I know, I was that kid. I was that kid who would wander into the kitchen randomly, walk in circles, and then tell my mom I'm bored. And I never did that on social media though. I know a few people. I know a few people who do that on social media. But nowadays, when I think about being bored, it's like, oh my God, I couldn't imagine being bored. I don't think I will ever be bored again. Literally, even if I'm doing a challenge like this, I don't think I will ever be bored again. I used to think that there's just, um, I just don't have enough going on in my life to be bored. I mean, I just don't have enough going on in my life to not be bored. It's like, I would be bored a lot, like at the old house, especially when there wasn't that much, like when there wasn't that many opportunities and stuff. Just being stuck at home a lot, I'd be bored so much. But nowadays, it's like I couldn't ever imagine being bored. I never have time to be bored anymore. Even when I have days where I have nothing going on, I still can't be bored because I'm always looking at, I always have these resolution goals, right? Staring me in the face. I always have all these literally dozens of things in the back of my mind that I know I need to do. So I always have time to work towards those things little by little. There's always something that I need to do. There's always something. There's always something I either need to do or there's something that I want to do. And it's like I never have time to be bored anymore. And I'm almost ready to say that I never have time to be depressed anymore. Now, that's another subject altogether. The thing with depression is it's complicated. It's like I would, I could still be doing many things at once and still be depressed just out of not enough social interaction, loneliness, that kind of thing. Um, but there are still most days I feel like I don't even have time to be bored. I don't have time to be depressed. I don't have time. There's just not enough hours in the day, man. There's just not enough hours in the day for me to have time to be bored or depressed. There's just too much to do. There's too much to do. There's too much I want to do. There's too much I want to do. There's too much I need to do. Those two things. Too much I want, too much I need. Like I'm about to start a new hobby. I'm about to start a weekly schedule, a very strict weekly schedule, mind you, with all these things that I want to implement in my weekly schedule, um, that are very specific, and I'm gonna have very specific times for each of these things. So I just want to like list them real quick. So once I get a second job, I'm going to be listing all of these things I'm going to be doing on a weekly basis, and I'm going to have a set schedule for each day for each of these things and for what time each day I'm going to be doing certain things. It's like I'm going to start going to the gym. Now, this is something that's been on my mind for a couple years now. It's like playing the guitar. It's been on my mind for a couple years, but it's not something I've ever done yet. I have fibromyalgia. It's not something I've really ever talked about with people, but I have fibromyalgia. My mom has fibromyalgia. Now, most people don't even know what fibromyalgia is. Fibromyalgia makes exercising a lot harder. Fibromyalgia makes gaining. Now, actually, I don't know for certain, but I think fibromyalgia makes gaining muscle mass a lot harder, because that's been my experience. It's definitely made it harder for me, I feel like. But fibromyalgia, the main thing about fibromyalgia is that the average person feels pain in a certain way. A person with fibromyalgia feels twice as much pain as the average person. So if I bump my toe on the door frame, I'm going to feel that twice as much as the average person. So literally, I have made extremely minor, like I've bumped my knee or bumped my toe on something extremely minor, and it's like very small, right? But I will still like, it feels like someone just shot me. For real, for real. It feels like someone just shot me. It's like the most excruciating pain for a good minute or two, and then it goes away. Obviously, I've gotten a lot better at handling such things, but still, it's like it just comes from having fibromyalgia. It's like I feel a lot more pain than the average person. If an average person bumped their toe against the door frame, it'd be like, oh, ow, and then it's like no big deal. But for me, it's a lot different. But yeah, there's a lot of like other things about fibromyalgia that I'm, probably a bit ignorant about. But yeah, those are just a couple of things. So yeah, it's made exercising for me extremely excruciating at times, but it's all part of like just getting more used to exercising, because I do want to eventually build up enough where I can go to the gym and feel confident with what I'm doing, I want to get a lot of like experience with exercise before going to the gym, swim these laps, do some stuff at home first before going to the gym. But yeah, that is something I want to do fairly soon, hopefully this year, within the next month or two, start going to the gym, even if I have no idea what I'm doing. Obviously, I want to have some idea of what I'm doing first, but still. Yeah, I want to go to the skating rink at least once or twice a week, have more fun, These are just the things I'm going to start implementing into my life. I'm going to walk to the beach, literally just walk to the beach, set a specific time on a certain day to just walk to the beach, wear my necklace, walk to the beach, yeah. Play video games, I'm not against video games, obviously. Play video games. If you like playing video games, play video games. It's a great way to socialize. It's a great way to just have fun. Like some people like me, I'm going to use myself as an example. I don't have enough fun. Like there hasn't been much fun in my life in years. Okay? There really hasn't. And I've kind of gone blind to this. I haven't really noticed how little fun I've had in my life in the last few years. But I mean, video games, they can be very fun, especially if there's a lot of people involved. So yeah, I actually want to play multiplayer Minecraft and multiplayer Among Us um, at a certain time every week. Connect with people, have a group to play with, that kind of thing. And yeah, video games are awesome, but as long as it's not abused, or as long as it's not used as like an escape or an addiction, those things, you want to avoid bad habits. Video games are not a bad habit unless it's done in the wrong way. So, yeah, I want to take these. I want to take some online courses. There's a library that I used to go to at the old house. They offer online courses and online classes for free, and they just have a lot of interesting subjects and a lot of just knowledge. There's just a lot of knowledge that I'd like to implement more. So there's that. I want to play basketball by myself. I actually get a lot of joy from playing basketball by myself. So I want to play more solo basketball. Just go out and spend some time with myself and shoot hoops. I want to volunteer for something. I want to, read more. I've actually started reading again. Recently, about 3 weeks ago, I started reading again. I finally started reading again for the first time in a couple years, and that's been great. It's been really great. I'm glad I can finally start implementing reading back in my life, because I stopped reading for years and years and years. I used to be a major bookworm, and then I stopped reading for years because reading got frustrating for me, because it was hard to process information. I would have to go over the same paragraph over and over and over and over again, and it would take reading a book, just a regular book, 2-3 months to finish one book. I used to be able to read a full book in like 2-3 days. So once reading became no longer fun for me, I stopped reading for like 5, 6, 7 years. I stopped reading. I didn't read at all last 5 years, basically. It wasn't fun for me anymore. It was just so hard to stay consistent with it. It was so hard to process and understand what I was reading. Ay, ay, ay. But yeah, reading fiction books, it's been a really big joy in my life earlier on. And I used to go, when I was like 12, 13, 14 years old, I used to go to book clubs, at the library. It was so fun. We used to read a book a month and then come back the next month and then talk about the book and then get the next book. And I used to find a lot of series that way. And I really miss reading. I miss the joy of reading. I miss not being addicted to consuming media, and just like being able to enjoy a good book once in a while, because there are some really good book series out there, man. I'm glad I'm finally introducing reading back into my life, and it's just been it's really great. I'm actually enjoying what I'm reading. It's interesting, and I'm not overly distracted because, well, the detox thing definitely helps. But yeah, I'm just less distracted in general. It's more easy to focus. And yeah, the best book series of all time is, I'm gonna say this like, okay, this is my opinion. The best book series of all time you have to check out is called, okay, there's two book series that are like tied in my head. There's like two book series that are tied for best of all time, and that is, one is called The Boys Start the War by Phyllis Reynolds Naylor. 12 books in that series. It's about these four boys And their best friends that live behind them, they move away, and they're replaced by these girls. So these three girls move in behind them, and they hate each other. Literally, these boys and these girls, they hate each other. They end up going to basically go to war with each other, pulling prank after prank after prank on each other. And yeah, it's hilarious. It's an awesome book series. I read the whole series 2.5 times. Another great book series that I would highly recommend, probably one of the best. It's by the same author who wrote The Hunger Games. It's by Suzanne Collins. It's called Gregor the Overlander. There's 5 books in that series. It's about this 11-year-old boy who falls down underneath the earth, like miles and miles underneath the earth. And he finds this civilization, like in the underworld. And it's full of giant bugs and mammals, like giant rats, giant cockroaches, giant bats, giant spiders, I think. I forget. But there's a lot of giant things in the underworld. And yeah, it's been like 9 or 10 years now since I've read that series, but it was literally like, it was one of the best series I've ever read in my life. I really miss being able to read books like that. Wait, Sonic says, spent a long time reading books or playing card games. Viper says, I can't stay in one line. I understand. I really do, because that was my problem too. It's like my focus wasn't with the book. I couldn't stay focused on the book. My focus was elsewhere. I couldn't enjoy it because I felt like reading was more like a chore and less of something I did as a hobby. So that's why I stopped reading. Just can't stay in one line. Yeah, that was my problem too. I completely understand that. A lot of time reading books or playing card games. Oh yeah. When I was younger, I barely read any books. It was mainly from 2018 onwards that reading became something I did often. And spent most of my time reading and writing. Yeah, that's interesting because I'm literally exactly the opposite. Because I think it was around 2017, 2018. That's when I stopped reading completely. It was before that. I was really into reading and playing Minecraft, for sure. I normally don't read books in order. Normally read random parts. Oh boy, that's something I've never done. The only books I normally read in order are history books. Ah. I don't think I've ever read a full-on history book because I think I got bored too quickly while reading those. My parents would tell me, "Oh, our history is the most exciting history of all time," or something like that. And I was like, "Nah, I don't believe you." Although, actually, I do have a good example. Hold on, let me grab this book real quick. Okay, so this is a book called Rush Revere and the Brave Pilgrims. Yeah, Rush Revere and the Brave Pilgrims by Rush Limbaugh. This is actually a good history book. There's 3 books in the series. I read them when I was younger. They were actually pretty good. I hated reading history-related stuff when I was younger, but these were pretty good. This was a really good read for me. Yeah. And so it's about time travel as well. Anyways, yeah. That's just, reading is just one of the things I'm implementing back into my life. Whew. I should have gotten some water. The second book sounds very interesting. Also, giant rats and giant dogs do exist. They live in the Amazon rainforest, and giant spiders live in the jungles of the Congo. Oh, no, you don't understand. I'm talking about giant spiders, giant bats, giant rats. I'm talking about those, like giant. Not what you're thinking of. I'm talking about like really giant, bigger than you, bigger than me, bigger than, just very big. The size of, we'll say 10 times the size of a cow. Something like that. Very great series by Suzanne Collins, Gregor the Overlander. If I find that book at the local library here, I'm definitely checking that out again. It's been way too long. Other things I'm implementing is just going out somewhere, doesn't matter where, maybe to a restaurant, going out with friends. I have to find friends first, but yeah, just going out and doing something fun. Community college. I was recommended by my supervisor that I should take a psychology class at a local community college and just see how it goes. Try to get myself out there more, meet more people. Yeah. I mean, I've got the money to do so I don't see why not. So I thought maybe I'd try that out. There's a rec center that I have a year's membership at. I want to go there more often and play basketball there with other people. I want to work on my documentary more because I'm working on a documentary. It's been in the making since 2021. And I plan to, work on that 6 nights a week, literally 6 nights a week, because I have a crazy, crazy story that I need to tell the world. And I think it's going to benefit me. I think telling this story is going to benefit me more than it benefits anybody else, but it's still going to be highly educational. I've been working on this documentary off and on for well over a year, but I want to be more consistent. I want to work on it 6 nights a week, and maybe on the 7th night, the night I don't work on it, I want to just watch a movie, just have a personal movie night with myself. And I don't know, maybe anybody else wants to join. I don't know. Make a video. It's another thing I want to do like every week. I think every Sunday morning I want to do like a chess video, and then a certain other day I could do something else. I don't really know. I just want to make more videos because I like doing it. It's fun for me. It's a fun hobby. And it's just fun for me. Making videos is a fun way to have a hobby, but also express myself. And yeah, go to the chiropractor, do that every week. So obviously it's going to be in my schedule. Donate plasma. I haven't gone to donate blood plasma in like 2.5 months, but I want to be doing that like at least every week, if not twice a week. But I want to have a set day for that. And then of course, guitar practice. I want to, obviously I want to learn to play the guitar. So, yeah. So those are all these things that I want to implement into my weekly schedule, but not until I get my second job. Because currently I only have one job. I really need to get water. So currently I have one job. I work at an arcade, and there's not much going on. I'm not gonna lie. There's not much going on at this arcade. I only work about 2 or 3 days a week. The biggest problem with it, well, I have 2 problems with it. The first problem is it doesn't pay enough. It's right below $11 an hour. So I was making $13 an hour as a lifeguard. And when I started working at the arcade, it was like $9.80 an hour. But then I got a raise, and now it's like $10.70 an hour. It's a little better, but it's not great. So I want to get a second job before. I'm going to be doing lifeguarding again this year, but it's still like $13 an hour again. It's going to be great, but still, I don't want to do that full time. I'd rather have part-time one job, part-time another job. So I want to. The other problem with my current job is that I never know when I'm working, because when I get the schedule, it's never the same days 2 weeks in a row. It's always like I'll just get randomly selected days, so I never know when I'm going to be working in advance. So for that reason, I want to have a second job so I can tell my boss what days I can and can't work. So that way I can have a more strict schedule so I can plan my life around my job schedule and that kind of thing. Because I'm really, really, really tired of not knowing when I'm going to be working. That's like my biggest pet peeve. I actually dislike that more than I dislike the pay. There's a lot of things I like about my job, but I think I dislike the scheduling more than I dislike the pay. Yeah. So there are some jobs that I'm going to apply at probably today or tomorrow, definitely before the end of this month. One of them is a warehouse stock associate at the international airport, and that's paying $17 an hour. That would be, if I could land that job, I would be so freaking happy if I could land that job. But it requires a driver's license, and I can't qualify to get a driver's license until Friday. So I could apply now and say that I can start after Friday, like after I get my license, or I could just wait until I get my license next week or so. And I could just wait and hope that the job is still available to apply for when I get my license, but that's kind of taking a risk. There are a couple other jobs on my list that I want to apply at. One of them is working at a car wash, which is like $16 an hour, which is pretty good. Another one is working at this store called Aldi, which is also $16 an hour. So the pay is really good for these jobs I've got in mind. I think I'm going to apply at all of them and see which one sticks. I actually had 2 more jobs on this list. I had 5 originally, but now I only have 3. But there were 2 more on this list that went unavailable. Like they were no longer available to apply for because the job was only up for a small amount of time. Let's see. When I was younger, I really hated history too. History seemed like it was all about crazy kings killing people. Sounds like horrible histories. But later on, I discovered a lot of good leaders in history, such as Saladin. I see. Yes. I understand exactly what you mean about your documentary. I and Ertugrul have been writing a history book since 2020. I really want to finish it as soon as possible, but unfortunately, it takes time. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. I already asked my boss to give me a schedule. She said that there's only one person that works there that has a strict schedule, and that she would only give me a select schedule if I had a second job that I had to abide by. So that's why I want to get a second job. Well, that's not the only reason, but that's one of the reasons why I need to get a second job. But yeah. When it gets to lifeguard season and I'm working as a lifeguard anyway, I still want to have a second job so I can do lifeguarding part-time instead of full-time. I still want to do lifeguarding, I just don't want to do it full-time again. But I was trying to talk about the documentary, history book. I'm streaming an hour and a half already. I'm gonna aim for like 2 hours. I think 2 hours is enough, but I still have some other things I want to talk about. But I want to talk about this real quick. I want to finish it as soon as possible. Unfortunately, it takes time. I understand. The thing is, there's been a lot of things in my life, and I'm sure other people's life too, where it's like you start something, and you say you're gonna finish it, but then like months go by, even years go by, and it seems like, and the people around you start to say like, oh, you're never gonna finish it. And I've been there. I know what that's like. Some people do start things and then just like, say they're going to finish it, but then never do. But then there's people like me that start things and then say that I'm going to finish it. Now I'm sure you're like this too. It's like, you kind of get tired of people telling you like, oh, you're never going to finish it. Why'd you start it in the first place if you're never going to finish it? Because I made a vlog back in June of 2018. I went on vacation and vlogged the whole trip, but I did not get the vlog up on YouTube until January 2019. So that was 7 months later. But I was told by my family, like, oh, why'd you even record the trip? Why'd you do all that if you're never gonna post it? But I did post it though. Yeah, it took me 7 months, but I did post it. I did what I said I was gonna do, and that's pretty much how it's been ever since. Like, I always do what I say I'm gonna do, even if it takes me freaking forever. Like the documentary that I'm making, it's been in progress for almost 2 years now. In fact, it's been about 2 years. It's been in progress for about 2 years now, off and on, but there's no doubt in my mind whether or not it's going to get finished.